tuned in to Athletics LLC with Lamar, Lucius, Big League Chew, and my man Clyde. You're about to be schooled in all things track and field. This is experience.
Yes, sir.
We are talking past, present, future. Y'all listen up. Let's go.
Whoop, whoop. Recording is in progress. Recording is in progress because we are finally kind of at home. kind of. We are at home, but I don't know if any of us are back down from our high of the meet called NCAAs, whether you're spectating or coaching. This one was a doozy. I think everyone can say that. Like lots of ups and downs and unexpected turns. So welcome back for an episode of Athletics LLC to go over all of that and relive those 4 days all over again. Eek. But I think Sir Lucius does that gracefully. I don't know. I don't think it's that hard for him to do it. Tough job, sir. Well, we'll start with you. Sir Lucius, how are you tonight, sir?
I'm a little fatigued, but no, I'm getting better every day. I'm getting better every day. So it's quite the exciting weekend, but I'm recovering well.
Yeah. Good for you. I think that's definitely meet-worthy, championship-worthy hangover. So I think you're allowed.
Absolutely.
The governor, how are you tonight, sir?
Doing really well. Just, readjusting from a 2 hour.
Excuse me.
2 hour change for a week, and every night from 2 a.m. to 1 a.m. and tonight won't be that. But just getting back into regular form.
Oh man, Clyde, how you doing?
Hey, it's Lucius's world. We just privy to.
We just hold the chair down for him. We just make sure it doesn't fly away. Or hold the umbrella in the organ case. Love it. Lamar, just Lamar. Gosh, reading fundamental. How are you tonight, sir?
Birdman hand rub. I'm great. I wish I had more people to talk trash to over the last few days because, as y'all know, those who are in my inner circle, I ride for y'all. So trust and believe. I was looking for some people to talk trash to over the course of this weekend, but it's okay. It was good. I was in my house by myself. I wasn't in my house. Let's not lie. I was in a hotel room by myself, talking all kinds of nonsense, being disrespectful at dinner tables, looking at scores. They're like, "You don't even coach track. Shut up."
I mean, isn't that always the case?
Yep. Hey, look. This weekend was fun. We are all friends of the man himself, right? So we know kind of like what's going on behind the scenes and how he's thinking and all those wonderful things. And honestly, this was like the most awesome movie ever to be behind the scenes of. It was just fun to watch unfold.
Oh, should have experienced it in the stadium. Man, oh man, oh man.
No, see, it's probably good that I wasn't in the stadium because I would have found some people to talk trash to.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, moving on.
I mean, I'm honest. At least I can be honest.
So
if nothing else, you can definitely do that. That's for sure.
Yes. So if you live on a rock and don't know this quite yet, Sir Lucius and the Florida Gators won both the men's and the women's side of the NCAA Outdoor Championships. So round of applause if you haven't done it already. Pat on the back if you haven't done it already. All these things. And that's literally just the cherry on top. Because the whipped cream and the 3 scoops of ice cream and the peanuts and the chocolate sauce and the bananas and everything.
Okay.
Yes. That's
I like that.
That's
what
what it all was.
3 scoops works for me, yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, man. Kudos to the team themselves for your leadership, for your staff leadership, but everything that everyone did to make that such an impactful performance was awesome. And that's not to say no one else did anything either, but I mean, to step out of the shadow of the Florida Gators was was a tall feat for most programs this weekend. So good stuff.
So
now let's talk about it. Of course. Now let's talk about it all. Good, bad, and indifferent. Good, bad, and ugly, I should say. Where do we start?
I mean, should we start at the short and just extend out? Keep it in order?
Yeah.
100-meter dashes?
Sheesh.
Wow. Let's start with the ladies. And, you know, I'm no one's surprised that Miss Alford won. But there was some carnage behind her that was surprising.
Mm-hmm.
There's some people that we thought would run a lot better. I think probably the most disappointing performance was Miss Jefferson. We know after her indoor performance, a lot of people thought she challenged for the title. I think she was 7th or 8th. Wasn't cute at all.
Yeah. You know, listen, I've been driving that bandwagon hard all year. And honestly, without being in the room to know the play, as we like to say, it just looked like the moment was too big for her across the board. I hope, you know, I hope there's something more to it. Still a hell of a season. Her and her crew and the coaches should still obviously, and I'm sure they are, be incredibly proud of that young lady, but 7th in the 100 and then of course last in the 200. It just looked like the moment was a little too big, but that's okay because she'll be back.
Mm-hmm. Yes, she will.
You know, you take your L and you come on back. But personally, I was surprised, not surprised that that Alford won it because clearly she's good enough to win it. But to see her put it together in that moment was a surprise, and props to her. Yeah. She deserved it. She ran a well executed race. I think, you know, start to finish, she ran the best race clearly. It was impressive.
Yeah, I felt like she won that race from 20 to 50. You know, that segment of her race was better than Kimba's. And Kimba actually came back at her hard the last 20 meters. You know? But that segment where Alford accelerated better than anybody in the race from 20 to 50, and I think that's what won the race for.
I think, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong. No matter who you picked, that race all year felt like the top end people favor, you know, obviously Abby, Solera Barnes, whoever. It felt like the top end people would ultimately win out, and it came down to the people we know to be the 2 best starters. Just put it away.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about this in championship racing. It's the people that execute the race model, and those 2 executed the race model better than anybody else. You know, it was clear. I mean, Favor just wasn't herself in the 100 at all. You know, she wasn't as bad as Miss Jefferson, but she wasn't far behind. And I don't think Solera made the final. Right. Yeah.
Well, I'll say this. You know, the what was truly impressive was the fact that 6 women ran sub 11 in the semis. Yeah. And you know, I think we all know at this point that the final day is more about attrition than anything else. I mean, you're going the true like racing in terms of like just being free and just letting it out. You know, the coaches are telling the athletes, hey, you have to run through the line. There's no joking around. It's top 2 in the next fastest times. You have to let it out. So when you look at what happened in the semis, I mean, that was really impressive. In the final, it was about nerves. Who held their nerve? Who was able to keep themselves together? And again, you know, I don't think Julian Alford's race was the prettiest race in the world, but she did what was necessary to hold on. You know, and that's, you know, that's what I will say about that. I mean, 2 10.90s. I mean, come on, that is very, very impressive stuff. So
we talked about that on the show last week. You know, the days to be there were Wednesday and Thursday. That's when it was going to be hot. Yeah,
exactly. Melissa Jefferson. I mean, I just, you know, again, you when it comes down to the nitty gritty, again, I don't know that she held herself together, and was able to put together a race. As you said, Sir Lucius, I mean, you have to be able to put together your race when it counts. And I didn't see that from that young lady. But overall, I mean, very, very quality final.
Yes. I mean, and we've seen that in championship races at every level, whether it be at high school state meets, whether it be at the world championship or Olympic level. It's the people that line up and, execute at a high level that do well. I mean, I think that you talk about, like, you go back to the 100-meter finals in London for the men and the women. That was what was most impressive about those two races, was because everybody got after it on the big stage. And very rarely does that happen. So.
Well,
yeah, I definitely think, and I'm not going to belabor this one. I definitely want us to continue to move on, but it was a huge advantage to be part of it, be part of a team battle on the final day.
Sure.
Right, because it definitely helps with the nerves. It definitely helps with you getting out of your own head, because in some ways you can just put that off on, like, the team. Like, team needs me, so I must go, right? And that helps. And it was for sure in this particular case a huge advantage to be part of the team battle.
Yeah. I mean,
all right, next.
It's always better to be there with the crew, right?
Yeah.
So the men.
No.
Why you laughing, Clyde? Why you laughing?
I'm laughing because, honestly, listen, I told you. I mean, people know. I said it on the show last week. I didn't have anybody in the meet. I drove up there to Eugene just to be a super fan of the sport, right? And when you don't have anything to coach and you can just sit there and watch, it's an experience that I'm sure none of us have done in a really long time. But it's good for the soul to get out there. I honestly have not enjoyed watching a 100-meter final as much as I did that one in a really, really long time. And for all the dramatics of it, right? I mean, listen, it's not. I'm honestly not trying to be petty. Michael Williams losing that race the way he did, it's one of the biggest chokes I've seen. And I'm a huge fan. Like, that, no one saw that coming. That's the surprise of the meet. The dude's 986 win legal. Can't finish 6th, 7th, whatever the hell he did. I mean,
yeah, I mean, no question about that. And look, I will never be part of calling someone the choke of the meet, because I've had that said about me by Dwight Stones on global television. So, like, I won't ever say that, but I'll just say this. No matter how many times I played that race in my head, the snapshot at 30 meters has Michael Williams 10 meters ahead of Joe Fomboy. So when Joe is less than 3 meters from the
10
front,
meters behind him. Stop that.
You didn't hear what I just said. I said the snapshot in my mind
before
the race.
I apologize.
Right?
I apologize.
Has Micah 10 meters up, right? And Joe making this massive comeback and gets dipped at the line. You got the hero moments in your head, right? But I can tell you this. When at 30 meters, Joe is 2.5, maybe 3 meters at the very most from the front, I literally am yelling in the restaurant, "It's over! It's over!"
Me too.
And no one knows what I'm yelling at, because I'm yelling at my phone. Because I'm watching the meet on my phone. But I'm like, it's a wrap. There's no shot.
Sir,
and then you just watch.
Sir, let me tell you, where I was sitting and other areas, people was yelling the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was some version of, "Oh my God, it's over, WTF," all of that. Like, you could audibly hear it.
Yeah.
Because no one
Joe
saw
looked like
that.
Joe looked like Pac-Man. He looked like Pac-Man, just gobbling up the ghosts.
I want to say this. to the naysayers out there, the people who are still, including RG3, who was critical if somebody would teach Joe how to start, right? The man was 10.22. He's a year ago now, he's 10 flat. And if you want to be a student of the sport, Joseph Fahnbulleh and his build is never going to be the first guy from the past.
Mm-hmm.
He's never going to be, and if he is, he's in a very low quality race. But if you were smart enough to watch the race model the man ran, that was a very complete race model. He accelerated, did exactly what I asked him to do. The man ran 10 flat, not like he ran the race, ran 10.3, right? But there was a time when 10 flat was, if you go back and look at it, and Lamar and I talked about it, that was a very Lewis-esque type of performance.
Yes.
No question.
Right. And so the whole key here is me understanding and Joe understanding that you don't have to be the first guy to 30. You want to be the first guy to 100. Because when he was trying to be the first guy to 30, as Daryl said, he was 10 meters behind the 10 meters. Right?
That's the best. That is the best.
Yeah. So when he stopped trying to be the first guy to 30 and just execute his acceleration model, it's the same thing, like they just give the guy a break. The guy's the double NCAA champion, and all y'all want to talk about is somebody can teach him how to start. Well, clearly I can teach to start because my other guy was leading the 60 meters.
Now look, we gonna get back into the commentary later, but yeah.
Okay. But
I just know this much. I just know this much because it ain't my job, but somebody who loves science and will produce numbers for us. This is going to come out at some point in time. I promise you. Joseph Fahnbulleh broke the friggin' mold from 60 to 70, 70 to 80, 80 to 90, and 90 to 100. When those numbers come out, all of us are going to be like, nah, no shot. Because we all see it. Like we all have ocular proof. So we're just waiting for the numbers to prove out what we see, right? Like those dudes aren't slowing down. Like what Joe does in the last 50 meters, like he's in a class of like 3. Him, Carl, and Bolt. Like it's a whole, like that they're a different breed of human. And I will tell you this, everybody should be happy that he's only running 10 flat currently, because as the front gets more and more rehearsed, the back will never go anywhere. And Big League will tell you, I said this yesterday, we were watching youth track kids run, little 8, 9, 10-year-olds. And I told her jokingly, like, get out all your NLIs and I'll tell you which kid to sign, right? We watched some 10-year-old kids run, and I cannot make this up. There was a kid running in like lane 2. They got to like 40, then 50. They were all even. And then he just stepped away from them. Little kid, not even like super big. And I said, sign that kid. And she's like, what are you talking about? I was like, listen, finishers never stop finishing. That's a fact.
This might be too early. Lucius may not have decompressed properly from all his shenanigans. But to that point, Sir Lucius, in that race or in rehearsal, how many steps does Mr. Fahnbulleh take for 100 meters?
I don't know. It's too early.
Right. I haven't looked at it. I haven't looked at it, but pull that tape up and go review it. To Lamar's point, I bet money he's somewhere at like 42. He's somewhere.
It ain't a lot.
He's somewhere between every other world record holder, which is 44, and Bolt, that's 41. So to Lamar's point, it ain't 44. Ain't no way it's 44. And if he's 10 flat running 41 42s, and he's still a baby, don't get it twisted. He's still a baby. Hey man, that dude, one of one right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a different cat, man. So
it's still one of the biggest misnomers when you talk about what a winning race model is. And I'm going to say it for the people in the back. It is not about the person who reacts first. It's about the person who sets up the race the best. And it for every individual that runs a race, how they set up the race looks different. If it doesn't matter who you line up next to each other, everybody has their own thing that they do, right? And we just have a situation where Mr. Fambale is extremely unique, and it's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple race model. We've seen it with Bolt, and literally all he needs to do is be in the mix. It is that simple. And I just look forward to what's coming, because as he gets more confident in this, I mean,
41 and a half.
I mean,
there we go.
Look, listen, folks, people need to understand something. The people who consistently watch the show, you need to all go tell 5 other people to watch the show, because I want y'all to understand something. The brain matter that is on this show is not normal. We are teaching you and telling you things that actually matter. Don't just go to the meets and be a fan, be a student.
Yeah.
Numbers matter. Track is math.
So I want to say this too. Like, let's not go through every event, because we'll be all night, and then I'm gonna.
No. You know we're gonna skip over. You know we're skipping over.
Yeah, like, let's just pick some highlights and go through those.
Listen, you know we're skipping over.
Get to your crappy scores. And then
No, the score. Listen, the score is going to be a 2-minute segment at most.
Right. Okay.
We're all going to have our heads down.
But let's talk about arguably the performance of the meet. 2180.
Oh
no,
yeah.
200 is next. I mean, yes.
Well, 2180. I mean, geez. I mean, and the thing about it is, it's like Ophelia didn't run well. She ran 22:05, and nobody knows.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You know, she just got curb stomped. You know, and it's like, you know, like, let's give shout out to Abby, shout out to Tim, you know, for the job that they did, because going into the meet, none of us were sure, right? But all you had to do was watch Abby go flying down the backstretch in the semifinal of the 4x1, and you're like, uh-oh.
It's about
she ran
to go down.
Exactly. And then when she ran 1090 something, was like, oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So you know it was coming.
So to that point,
I mean, I just want to throw this out here really quick. Abby Steiner ran under 11, under 22, and under 49 seconds at the national meet.
Yeah.
Yes,
everybody listening? All you sprint coaches who like you want to go run 30s. Like, look, you can't have that kind of range unless you run around the track a time or two.
Mm-hmm.
In her 7th race of the weekend, she split 48-9.
Insane.
48-9.
Insane.
For the win, mind you, because they were out of the race when she got the stick.
Yeah.
Not to mention the compressed schedule on the final day. We always talk about it.
And the thing about it is like, it was the way she did it. It wasn't like she went out and just ran as hard as she can and died. She was very methodical. You know, it was like every 100, she just got a little bit closer. There were 120 to go. She's like, I think I'm gonna go get her. Did she ever? You know. So very, very impressive.
I think that we and the track audience at large owe a minute here to the arc of Abby's season, right? Because Abby started off the indoor year on fire, setting national records in off events. And there's a contingent of people who are like, is she going to make it through? Then she sets records and wins NCAA's indoors. And it's like, but is she going to make it through? And then, respectfully, Favor drops the hammer and takes the national record. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, rightfully so, it's been a legitimate debate over, at the end of the day, when the dust settles, who's it going to be? Because understand this, going into that 200-meter final, Favor's the best ever.
Ever.
Best ever. And it's not like it was a whack record she broke. The record was 22-0.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, there's been a lot of back and forth and a lot of crap that I don't really like to get into about the disrespect and all this other stuff. At the end of the day, Abby kicked in the door, ripped her seat out, and took it from everybody.
Yep.
21.8.
21.80.
That is a world-class mark that can net her a medal if she can continue to hold it together for just a little while longer. And at this point, no one should be doubting that her and her training crew, Tim and the crew, can get that done. She looked phenomenal.
She did.
And I mean, Favor ran great.
22:05.
But curb stomped. It wasn't close.
Like the fourth or fifth fastest time in collegiate history.
Yeah.
Right.
And like wasn't even in the frame like this.
No, she got slapped to sleep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey. She is.
And sometimes, look, man, it's just like that, right? Like sometimes you go to the meet and somebody just came ready. Mm-hmm. There's nothing you can do about it, right? Look, Abby Steiner was not losing that 200 to anybody.
No, she wasn't. And look, let's give credit where credit's due. Clearly, Tim and her and the training staff, they figured some things out. They kept her healthy, they kept her fresh, because she was on fire all weekend. Because even if you watch the final in the 4x1, she was flying down.
Yes. Yeah.
Flying down the back.
And they almost pulled that off.
Yeah.
They were right there.
Yep.
So we don't really need to spend too much time on the 200 for the men, but it was really funny.
I mean,
it was really funny.
Listen, let's just say it like this. If it was possible for me to place a wager, I would have literally bet all of the money I've ever seen in my entire life that Joe was going to win 200.
100%. 100%. If I was allowed to gamble, I would have emptied the bank account on that one.
Emptied the bank account, right? Like, look, don't even give me the odds. I just want to double my money. We're good.
Now we can get off of that because there is a race. It's the women's 400 that I personally would love to discuss for the same petty reasons that I got my prediction right indoors. No one was really picking Talitha Diggs, except maybe this panel. Except maybe
okay. What don't we say on this show all the time? Like, history is the best predictor of the future. Don't we say that all the time? Like, literally, folks, it happened the same way outdoors as indoors. The script didn't change. Nope. Right. Under-raced, ready to go when it matters, doesn't win SECs, and wins and looks the best and wins outdoors. Like, like she did the same thing indoors as out.
Yes.
Maybe her coach has a clue.
I mean, her coach is all right.
She overcomes her coaching all the time. She's phenomenal at that. So she does a very good job of overcoming her coaching.
No, she's not phenomenal. She's too lethal.
Oh my God!
Save it, Lamar.
Yeah,
save it.
Yeah, that was definitely the best half of me. Unleashing her to lethal kick. Yeah. The great thing about that race was before the semi, I said to her, "Look, you're gonna have to run 50 points because they're gonna make you. Like, you can't go out here and run for second because then you're gonna end up third and you gotta bubble." And the clock stopped at 50:08, and she looked at the clock like, "Was that right?" And so afterwards, when I met her in the back, I'm like, "How'd that feel?" She goes, "That was really easy." I'm like, "Okay." And then before the final, she said, "What should I do?" I'm like, "Go win the race. Just run the same race model, just go a little bit earlier." And she did. And even after that one, she was just like, "Man, like, it just." But again, it was a plan all along. She and I talked about it. I said, "Look, you're gonna take some lumps along the way, but and it's hard when you see people running 49s and 50 points and all that stuff earlier on, and you're running 51.2 or 51.3. You just gotta trust it." And she did.
So once again, here we are in June, and do we remember anything that happened in April?
Nope.
Not now.
Nope. Sure do not. And do we care? We sure do not.
Yeah, that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the week of the SEC meet, indoors and out, right? Like, everybody's who riding and blah, blah, blah. And then 2 weeks later, the title goes to the same young lady, and, like, no disrespect, but, like, nobody remembers who won the SEC meet because it wasn't the last meet. Like, that, I wish people would understand that. Like, being best last really and truly is what's memorable. It just is. It just is. Very few people ever have an undefeated season, so I don't even know why people bother trying. Like, just go and do your job.
But speaking of undefeated seasons, Trey Cunningham had one.
Ooh,
And
boy.
boy, that was nice.
Wow.
That was, and I
Wow.
told him, I was like, look, I said, if you don't start pressing that hurdle late, the record's gone.
Yeah, man.
You know, if he just stands up, he just kind of sat down and pressed a little bit because the record. And kudos to Eric for pressing, right?
Yeah.
Who saw that coming? Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because listen,
saw that coming.
When you have so it's kind of like the Williams situation, right? When you have an overwhelming favorite, and Trey absolutely was the overwhelming favorite. Trey's history has been, if the pressure's on, what's going to happen? And the LSU kid said, "The hell with all of that. I'm going to find out." And ran a brilliant race.
Yes, he did.
When Trey hit 5, I was like, "Oh my God, no!" And to his credit, he got himself back together and won the race and got the championship 13 flat. You know, how many people have actually done that, right? When you tie Ronaldo Nehemiah, take a bow, sir.
Right. Enough said, right? Yeah.
But he absolutely threw away the record, and he knows it. He said it. He said it in his post-race interview. He had it.
Yep. We appreciate him letting us keep it for a little while longer.
Right.
Well, what year is the LSU kid? Because
he's done.
Okay. Well, then there you gonna have it for a while, then I think.
Yeah. He's done.
So,
and I think that you also think about the 400 hurdle races. I mean, Britton Wilson. I mean, dominant as always, 53 and some change, and then Squirrel. I mean, that's Lamar and Clyde's guy, right?
Squirrel,
right? Yeah, Squirrel. I mean, he's a bruh, and he came up and gave me a hug before the semifinal. He goes, "I'm getting ready to show him who I am, bro." I'm like, "I know you are. I know you are."
So I don't know this. Maybe Lucius can confirm or deny or whatever. But the season that Squirrel had was bad.
Yes.
Until it wasn't, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And the minute he crossed the line and goes like this, I'm like, oh, well, that's what he was doing. That's why.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah. Right. He was here for Tom Jones when Lamar and Big League were here.
Mm-hmm.
And Lamar said, "I think that dude's pledging." And then Tamara verified it, that she thought he was as well. And then like 2 days later, they go back to LSU and he crossed when they got back. So yeah.
Okay.
Also, so the hooks were coming out. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that.
I think we will all, as coaches, we will all agree with me on this. We do not endorse or condone pledging during the season.
No, we do not.
Absolutely
do not.
No.
You better pull it off like that.
We do not.
Exactly.
It is a general consensus. Don't do it.
Please do not do it. But if you do
not do it.
Yeah. Let it
do
finish
it in the fall.
Yeah.
That will only add to
don't do that.
Yeah. And it just speaks to the talent of Squirrel. It also speaks to, I think Benny Brazil's his primary coach.
Mm-hmm.
And the resilience, Benny was driving Benny crazy. We talked about it. He's like, when I figured it out, he had to adjust some things and just said, hey, now that you're done with that, we'll get you back to where you need to be, because, I think that, Squirrel's a generational talent. And I think the bigger picture is for him to be a world championship and Olympic participant down the road. And it'll be interesting to see. Someone told me they think he's not coming to USA's this year because he's not sure he's prepared. But and if that's the truth, I think that might be smart.
Yeah.
Just get healthy because that dude is the future. He gives us a 3 or 4 headed monster in that event.
Yep.
Man.
So
can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Because I know she had a front row seat. I wasn't sitting there.
Uh-huh.
The men's triple jump. Can
Woo!
you that through the men's triple jump?
Woo!
See, so before you say that, before you talk about it, like the line of the meet for me on Tuesday, Joe and I were on that the new strip, right? And we're going over some block settings.
Oh, I know you're doing
and the TCU triple jumper job. And I don't know who he is. So Joe waves at him. I'm like, who is that? He goes, oh, that's Do Airlines. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not his name.
That's his
goes,
last name.
It's Do Airlines. I'm like, it's not his last name. So he said, yes, it is. You know.
So true conversation. Just yesterday, we were at the all-comer meet, and he says, Coach, can I have them introduce me as Do Airlines? I said, sir, they already have enough with your legal name. Like, just keep it at Do.
Yeah.
Just
Exactly.
keep it at
Yeah.
Do.
Yeah.
He said, you're right, Coach. You're right.
Yeah.
we got to simplify this to them.
So were you sitting with Sean during the
I was
event?
not. I was not.
Okay.
So we like to leave Coach Jackson to be, because he does his pacing, he does his out loud words, and we let him be, so we can't hold it to him. So we let him be. Funny enough, we were warming up the 200 at that time. And so I couldn't be in the stadium. So I actually did not see it. And so walking to the warm-up field, I hear the clap. And I can tell Dew's clap is different than Emmanuel's, completely different. Not because of the Oregon crowd, but it was just different. And you hear the roar, and then you hear, you literally hear the deflate in the audience. And I was like, he fouled. And I pull up the results, definitely fouled. You know, and then second attempt, you hear the roar, but you can tell that it wasn't the roar. And then attempt number 3.
Yeah.
Still in deal.
Yeah,
So,
I was in the stadium, and I was sitting in the middle of the second turn, and the Oregon guy jumped farther than the attempt before. And it was like when he got on the run, when he started to clap, you could tell like he's like, I'm done with this. I'm putting this out of reach. and when he hit the sand, it was a oh my God and a oh crap at the same time for the Oregon fans, right? Like like a phenomenal performance, but he just passed our guy, right? You know. But watching those two interact during the meet was great. You know, what a great competition. What a phenomenal competition.
Well, you know, I had to go back and check. That's the number 9 best jump in the history of the NCAA, right? 56.7.5. I mean, you look at the jumpers in front of him, and we're talking about the great Mike Conley, Marquise Dendy, Christian Taylor. Stop me if I'm Charlie Simpkins, Will Clay. You see that?
Right.
Walter Davis, Edric Floreal. You know, I mean, unbelievable competition. And I know that there's a sub story to this, because Dew lost to Emmanuel last year, and you know.
And indoors as well, right?
Yeah, and he had, you know, this is something that had been, you could tell it was on his soul, you know.
It was.
Yeah.
And so there was no doubt, you know. I mean, and you watch the way he ran his approach and everything like that. He was in it to win it. There was no question who was going to walk away with that title, and he didn't care whether that Emmanuel was on his turf. He didn't care. This was his championship. And I mean, I just hope the younger jumpers in there in the competition, you know, I mean, I hope now we have a situation where 2 guys are that much better, and it raises the level of everybody else, you know, because if you're not jumping 17 meters.
Yeah. And can we please start learning how to long jump again? Like,
Lord, please.
Yeah, that was painful to watch.
As amazing as the triple jump was, not awesome.
Yeah. That was awful.
That hurt my soul. It really did.
But let's talk about something on a positive note. You know, our girl Jazzy Moore.
Wow.
You know, Miss 8 for 8, and I told her technically she's 10 for 10. You know, so you know, she hasn't lost a championship. You know, this year, and I think it's just phenomenal to watch her do that. You know, she could. I think the biggest thing for me with her was watching her come down on the first jump on the long jump. And it was clear nobody was going to jump super far. And she came down on her first jump and went over 22 feet. It's like, okay, come chase me now.
Yep.
You know? That was the beauty of it. Yeah,
it was awesome. Both of her.
You know,
very business assassin-like.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So it's funny you said that. I said to Sean Jackson today, we were sitting there after they had track camp, and I said, Sean, you're elbows deep in the jumps world. So I mean, you're the person for me to have this conversation with. I was like, have you ever seen somebody make a double look any easier? And he was like, no. And I was like, that's what it is, right? Like literally, I'm sure that these things were in doubt theoretically, right? But at no point in time during the indoor NCAA meet or the outdoor NCAA meet did I ever get the inkling that anybody else was going to win in the long or triple jump other than Jasmine. Like not even like not one like brief thought like, oh, she's going to have to go. No.
And
Indoors
was close. You know,
I know, but that's what I mean. Like she just, like right now where Jasmine is at physically, but I think more so mentally, like she's in everybody's head rent free, and it's like nobody thinks they can beat her.
See,
and I think that's where it is.
Who Jazz is? We're at the LSU meet, and Anna comes down, catches a big win, and jumps like 674. And Jazz kind of looks around, okay, here's 680 for you. And she just goes and sits down, right? That's who she is, Like, okay, I mean, like, Anna, don't get me wrong, Anna, you're my girl. No, we're not having that today. Yeah, we're not having that today, yeah.
So I want to make sure we get this in because I know we got a whole lot of stuff to get to. One of the best coaching jobs outside of whatever the hell was going on with the Gators. Carmelita Jeter deserves a hell of a lot of credit.
Yes.
And listen, you can look at the USC performances this week and you can pick it apart. You ain't got nothing to say about the men's relays.
Nope.
USC men is the most decorated program in the sport. And they set a school record in the 4x1 to win the national championship.
Which was shocking, right?
Without their number one guy.
Yep.
Yes.
Right.
Devontae Burnett is hurt.
Yep.
Right.
That is.
And there's no one in that stadium outside of Quincy and Jet who thought they were going to win that race.
Yeah.
And the four guys.
Yep.
Right.
Like, because you listen to them after the race, they totally believe they were going to win. And I have no idea what they said to Keshawn James. But he lit the first leg up. Oh, my God.
Keshawn James was out there doing his best Tiana Madison impression.
Yes,
I will also say that someone lit a fire on the Mr. Blockburger because I did not see that coming.
Well, let's be clear.
On the 4x4, you mean? Yeah, on the 4x4?
Yes.
Yeah, that was crazy.
He's a
phenomenal job. See, here's the thing. See, like the 4x1 got them lit, right? They were crunk. And so we're in the back. And, Clyde saw where we were on that one steeple barrier. And then about 20 meters down, they were on another steeple barrier. So Quincy calls them together. He gets down on one knee. And I turned to my guys. I was like, we ain't doing this again. they just snuck us once. Them jokers are getting ready to run. They're not sneaking us again. So let's get ready. Because Quincy got in their heads. Think about it. Zach Shinnick, who's been just another dude, split 44-6 on the second leg.
Yeah.
Brought
so I don't know what he said in that huddle. But when I saw that joker get down on one knee, I'm like,
here we go.
So I didn't get down on one knee, but I got in real close.
But I mean, like, listen, when the last time we saw the NCAA championships, the time was 37-9, and that's, you got 3 Olympians on that team. So everybody's like, oh, that's the standard now. No, that's the record. That ain't normal. Okay. What we saw this was more close to normal. And understand this, if not for the exploits of Mr. Famble, the 4x1 wasn't close. They were blowing that out.
Yes. Actually, you know what? I take that back. They weren't blowing it out because Houston was right there.
Well, sure.
Houston was right there. So, that was a surprise of that relay. Nobody was really surprised at what Joe did. It was the fact that Blockburger ran away from Sean Mossman.
Yes.
That was a surprise.
Look at the replay. He was like, wait, we won? Like, yeah.
Exactly.
Again, I mean, someone lit that fire, man. Credit to Jet and credit to Quincy.
Jet. It seemed like you said, you had to be in the warm area because you know Jet. Like people, like you expect Jet to be overly animated, and she wasn't. She was very workmanlike. You know, it was. And I told her, I said, you know, hey, you got me. I got my eye on you now. But like again, you win it without your best guy, right?
Yeah. Without the number one guy. Like, how many teams in this country can win the 4? Sir, can y'all win the 4x1 without Big Joe?
No.
Right. Like, how many teams can pull that off without their number one guy? Like, that was phenomenal.
And that's the indoor 60 champ.
Yeah.
That's what they wrote out. Yeah. Because if that's him on the anchor, Joe don't get that close.
Right.
But I don't know. It's Joe. You never know. You never know.
And then I know listen, we can't just be, you know, sprint centric. Again, Diljeet Taylor, BYU, Courtney Wayman.
Yep.
What the hell?
What do I know about Courtney Wayman? What do I know?
At this point, what's funny about Courtney Wayman is just like we all look like we're geniuses because like we're like, wait, DLG coaches are okay, we're good. We'll pick that one.
So during that race and the 5K race that we predicted, I was fielding messages from people, collective of coaches, like, what does the governor know that you guys don't know?
Dude, and then you watch the race, you're like, did he talk to him? Like, how does he know this?
It was hilarious. Like, he is a genius. How does he know the distances that well? And I was like,
it was the aggressive nature and the speed with which he said
it. Like he stuck his chest out, like like see, the rest of you guys, like he was just like bang bang bang. We're like, somebody knows something.
Oh man.
Let me find out the governor got a time machine. Let me find out.
I know, right? He's got that book from Back to the Future.
Right?
Can I stick one thing in here really quick? And I know we're going to talk about a bunch of other things, but I don't want to forget this. Like, listen, Cam Rogers.
Yes.
Oof.
Listen, folks. The Hammer facility at the University of California is a 20 to 25 minute drive from campus.
Richmond Fuel Station, baby.
It is on a floodplain. Like this, no parts of this is sexy. No parts of this even says Division I.
I would like to interrupt you for a second. It is very sexy how far she throws that damn thing.
I mean, listen.
Okay. So I hear you about the facility and all that stuff. Forget the facility. You know, like here's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to coach my team, and I hear and stepping into the ring is Cam Rogers. And so by the time I get over there, she's thrown already. Now I'm pissed because I missed it, right? Of course, it's to clean your record, right? But it's like like the number of people who showed up just to watch her.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yes. It was so crowded.
And that's why I couldn't get to see her because I couldn't get through the people to see her.
Yeah.
They're like, who are you, sir? No.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cam Rogers is worth the price of admission. Period.
Yes. Yeah. Everybody came to watch her. And the thing was, like, the whole competition was good.
Oh yeah.
You know? Like, it's like if somebody like dared to throw within a meter or so over, she's like, okay, that's enough of this, right? Like, I'm not playing with y'all anymore. You know, crazy.
I mean, look, the school record at Texas State is now 74 meters.
Yeah.
Right.
Hello?
Right.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
And how bad did she get beat? She got beat by a meter and a half. Or something? 3 meters?
3 meters.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. 3. Yeah. See, and that's great.
So that is officially
because 77 meters.
It's the number 9.
She's going to win a medal.
Number
with
9 throw of all time.
Yes.
All time.
Right. Not NCAA all time.
Not in NCAA. All time.
And everybody that saw it was just like, oh my God, it was so effortless. It was just like the thing just jumped. You know, like just like the guy we had last year who was like, you know, Thomas is phenomenal, but like hers was just, everybody said it was just seamless, man. Like the thing just jumps out of her hand and just doesn't want to come down.
And I've said this before, but I know everybody doesn't see every single show we do, so I will repeat it. I've been doing this 16 years, coached a lot of people. I've never seen an athlete work harder at their craft than Cam Rogers. Mm-hmm. That girl don't give a damn about no NCAA guidelines. She out there twice a day, all the time, on her own, like every day.
Yeah.
Just rehearsal after rehearsal after rehearsal. She is relentless in the weight room. Like, you know, people are impressive in the weight room when the football people will stop what they're doing and be like, what the hell is that?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Go watch that.
Relentless. And just like, honestly, just one of the best kids that I've ever met. Like, she's super humble, just, the sweetest person, but a monster.
Yeah.
I mean, totally committed to what she's doing. And yeah, she's going to get a medal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I want nobody to be surprised when she throws 80 meters at World Championships, because I said this before. Their goal was not the national championship, because that was well within her. Mm-hmm. She is going to throw further in a month, folks.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
And so I'm gonna kind of go home here a little bit again, and I'm gonna talk about Anna Hall. And her exploits. There was some knucklehead out there that tweeted, I bet she doesn't, reach to score the point she wants to. Bet $1,000 she won't score the point she wants to score. And Anna so she must be a little kin to Chuck, being a little petty. At the end of the meet goes, my Venmo is, right? So,
no, that they need to run her money. That should have been done already.
No, they can't run her money.
That's a violation.
Stop. It's a violation. Trust me, our compliance guy was, it is. Exactly.
That's hilarious.
But at the end of the day, like, okay, so people understand this. And also there's the idiot out there that she's going to jump in the transfer portal because we made her do that, right? Anna Hall not only wanted to do the 400 hurdles, she wanted to long jump, right? She came to me under the guise that she was trying. We were going to use the 100 hurdles as a training run at the prelim meet, when all the time she was trying to qualify in that as well. She's a competitor.
She almost did.
Exactly. And I told her, I said, thank God for the headwind, right? So nobody makes Anna do anything. Anna wanted to do that. There's also this talk that she wouldn't have done it if Grace hadn't got hurt. No, it was always the plan, right? So let's stop with the nonsense. Nobody's doing anything to Anna. Anna wanted to do that. Anna wants to be the best ever. And also, if you know the sport like some of us do, the 400 hurdles and the 800 kind of go together a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? So we might know what we're doing here. But and the thing is the greatness of that is for her to win the event by over 400 points, 21 minutes after being second in the 400 hurdles in the second fastest time of your life.
Mm-hmm. So I just had a thought. That sounds like a workout. That sounds. Hey Anna, check it out. We're gonna run a 400 race at race pace. We're going to rest 21 minutes, and then we're going to run an 8.
That happened
we're going to jog minutes.
Exactly. We're going to jog. See, here's the thing. When we did it in training, because she didn't have the other two events of the hip and her legs, and plus, clearly it wasn't the same effort, but she could do things at 207 and 208 pace, right? But you don't have the adrenaline factor in there.
Yeah.
Because she really thought she was going to run 211. I'm like,
no.
No.
I said she was going to. I signed that one.
Yeah, that's no. She called me and said, Coach, can I try? I'm like, Anna, sure, but does not happen. She said she got the 500. She was like, oh my God. I was like, I told you. She went by me with 150. I was like, just stay on your feet.
Oh,
but
man.
the beauty of Anna Hall is, and this is what people understand. The morning we're getting ready for the long jump that morning of the final day, and she says to me, I'm running the 4x4 if the meet's on the line. I'm like, no, you're not.
You should have handed her a baton at the end.
No, you're not. It's 20 minutes after that you're not doing that. Stop. But that's her mindset, right? And talk about a young lady who wants to get on the podium. Because let's be realistic. If we don't run the 400 hurdles and she runs 203, she scores 6,600 points. Right? Yeah, you know? So, I mean, she's another one. You know, our goal, our target is, you know, getting on the medal stage. And that's what we're training for. You know?
He's winning a medal.
Okay. I've been threatened. I understand. I've been threatened.
It's not. It wasn't even a threat. She's winning a medal.
Okay, so he comes at my neck about it all the time. Don't let him fool you. Do not let him fool you.
Chu, we'll end up with a 3-hour show. What's next?
Got it. Yes. Well, you know, honorable mentions. Great things in the shot and the disc on the women's side by Miss Van Klinken, not because she was my pick, because she did great things, right? On the men's side, we had the Cal throwers. Unfortunately, Arenas got second, and then they had Iffy, I forgot his last name, sorry.
Iffy Joyner.
Ish. So shout out, like we haven't been doing it already, but shout out to Mo because he literally cleaned up. Pole vault, we had the young lady from Louisville who came not out of nowhere, but she superseded the expectation of the crowd for that.
Lamar, is that Jeff Petersmeyer? Lamar?
No, it's not. I just as soon as I started to open my mouth, I forgot her name. The female coach.
Okay.
Oh, I've done a call with her and I can't remember, but yeah, it is not Petersmeyer.
Okay.
So there was like we said before, there was phenomenal things that happened. And as Clyde always alludes to in championship or big meets, you got to toe the line, show up, show out, and win. And
let's talk about this too. Like, you know, both collegiate record holding teams went to the line in the 4x4 and came away with victories. You know, you got to give credit to those two squads as well.
Yeah.
You know?
The 4x4s were great races. I mean,
they were
great races.
Okay, and let me say this again. Get off of Jacob Miley. Oh, he's the weak link. Of course he's the weak link. He's on a team with 3 guys who run 44 seconds.
Oh, listen, we gonna get back. I promise you, we gonna get into that at the end of this.
Okay.
I love it.
Brooke Rasnick.
There you go. I knew it was a B. I couldn't remember it. Brooke.
Okay.
Brooke Rasnick.
Congratulations, Brooke.
I got notes for you, baby. Trust me, I got notes for you.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So I'm going to interject here for the scores.
Here we go.
All right. A little bit of the breakdown. So I got to make sure at the top. Breakdown. You know, I do pieces, right? So the overall score, both genders, not to my surprise, and I'm sure the Tiles aren't surprised by this, but the governor pulls it out.
By how much?
3 points.
Who?
Over Lamar.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Clyde.
It's the damn 5K. It was the 5K.
He did the same thing to you indoors. He did the same thing to you indoors.
Not quite the dog stomp that Sir Lucius said was going to happen, you know. But thank you.
But I told you the governor was going to win. You're welcome. My pleasure.
So overall, Clyde, I gave it to you. 37. Clyde, you scored only 30 points.
Oh my God, Clyde.
Yeah.
Wait, Big League beat Clyde.
I did beat him. I did. So let's further analyze this breakdown by gender. Per the men's scores.
Clyde, hold on a second, Clyde. That means you average 15 points per gender.
Oh, I'm sure I didn't. I'm sure I didn't.
So, yes, he scored 16 points on the men's side, so 14 for the women.
It was balanced. Okay.
Exactly.
So it was. Both Lamar and the governor tied for first with 18 points, and then I brought up the rear with 14 points. So we swapped.
That's so bad.
All right.
Across the board, it's really bad.
You're welcome. Lamar, you won the women's picks with 21 points. Governor 19.
Go.
Yeah. So, and then you know the rest. the rest is history. So
no, let's hear that. What were the rest?
What do you mean? What were the rest?
You are the overall champion, sir.
He wanted you to say that again.
I just wanted to hear it again.
Even though I did predict a governor victory last week.
Listen. Props to the king. You win. You don't get like a full crown. You get like a Burger King crown because all the picks are trash. But you are the man.
Thank you.
So wait, what? Break down the genders again. What were the men's scores and what were the women's scores?
18, 16, 14. The two of you and the governor tied, and then Clyde and myself. And then for the women's picks, it was 21, 19, 15, and then 14.
Who had the 14?
So let me ask you a stupid question. If I tied for the win on one side and won on the other side, how is it that I lost?
Because he scored 2 more points than you did on the men's.
No, I scored more points than he did. If we tied on one gender and I won the other gender by 2 points, I don't know much about math.
That's 39 is his total.
18 and 21 is 39.
That's just the picks. Was it the bonuses that put the governor over the top?
Maybe it's the bonuses.
Oh yeah. Sorry. So the bonuses are in a different
yes, it has to be the bonuses.
Okay.
Column. Wow, that was horrible. Different column.
So I want to hear these, but like now I'm interested. Let's hear these bonus picks.
Well, you have the spreadsheet. So I'm just saying. Anyways,
I mean, I was letting you do your job.
Spreadsheet, too.
Right.
What bonuses did we hit?
So
for example, in the petty game, make the final or top 3. Who got their bonuses?
So in the 100, everyone got it.
But what were the bonuses?
Oh, you got 1 point or no points?
No, true. For example, in the women's 100, Lamar got his bonus. How?
Oh, by picking Solera Barnes and Big Joe.
Solera Barnes
to not make the final,
and Big Joe to be top 3.
Correct.
Correct.
There you go. See, this is, if we're gonna do the petty game, you got to give the petty result. Did I get my bonuses in the 100? I feel like I got at least.
You did because you had Mr. Bowling and then Esme.
So I only got one of my.
Exactly. No, Bowling wasn't top 3.
No, I had Bowling to miss the final. He missed the final. The last guy.
Yeah.
And then
right.
So it's top 3 or not. So he wasn't in top 3. So and he made the final, so you didn't get a point for that one.
Right, I didn't get that point. So Governor got his bonuses.
Yes.
How did he get his bonuses?
He got he missed one. In the 100, his pick was Bowling and then Julian Alfred. In the 200, Big Joe and Kavana Davis. Kavana is the one he missed because she took 7th.
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, the way you fumbling through this, Lamar's going to ask for a recount.
We don't need a recount. So far, I'm winning by 4 points, 3 points.
It's like I'm saying, you sitting there going through the math.
I'll look at it again.
We will table this. We will table this.
We will circle back to this at another time.
The game is under review. It's under review.
Yes.
Protest.
God.
Wait,
there's a red square somewhere on the screen. You just got to find it.
You need to give me the $100 for the protest, sir.
Okay.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Don't worry. I got you. I will pay that 100.
We will count the hanging chads and report back next week.
I will. Cool. So, and I'm not even gonna lie to the audience. This was done in a quick, fast, and a hurry because I am exhausted. This spreadsheet has been left blank for a while. So it is my apologies for their mistake.
What's
3 words, letters, RG3.
Oh wait, are we skipping the Bowerman?
No, I was gonna put that next, sorry.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah. No, it's okay. It's okay. But RG3, because I was gonna keep it in context of the meet. RG3. There was a lot of conversation inside, outside, social media, and even things that were pertinent, like people commenting outside of football, outside of track and field, just athletics related. about his commentary, about his wear-all, about his colorful wordings and choices and selections. So I honestly, so if you haven't heard reference to the audience already, like we have a group chat and that thing does go off and it's pretty crazy and it is live. Just, I've been in and out of it just personally, just trying to keep track of everything. So I am interested in hearing what are the Tiles' perspectives of RG3's presence, of his references, things of that nature. Okay, Mr. Lamar, since your hand is so politely raised.
I feel like RG3 this weekend was like the internet. It was both the best thing and the worst thing simultaneously. Listen, him calling Matthew Bowling the Eminem of track and field, maybe one of the worst things he could possibly have opened his mouth and said. Him saying that Talitha unleashed her Talitha kick.
But that wasn't him. That was Laura Overton that said that first. Yeah.
He had a couple others.
Laura said that. He just repeated it.
Yeah. He had a couple other hip hop references and things that were really, really good. And so, like, look, this is what I'll say, right? Track and field is never short on accomplishments, but often very short on attention. And the one thing that I am 100% sure of is this: whatever mistakes he made, we clean it up and put his butt back in the booth, because he was good for the sport as a whole.
Yep.
Right? He wasn't perfect, but he was definitely, without question, good for, I've learned this term and how important it is, the engagements.
Yeah.
There were I think ton of people talking about the meet.
Right. He brought that excitement. He has a name. People talked about him. They talked about things he was saying. And for it to be his first time, he made a lot less mistakes than some of the people that have been doing it for like 50 years, right?
Yep.
So
look, here we go right here for that.
Right. And so I think that if he wants to spend more time and become a little more knowledgeable on some things, I think that he made the only mistake I think he makes is he make the mistake that a lot of them make. They want to start talking about the technical side of things that they really don't know.
Right.
They'll just let that side of it go. Just call the race. None of them know what the hell a drive phase is. So stop talking about it. No. So let's stop talking about it. But other than that, I think I thought he did a phenomenal job. He did.
Like Lamar's reference, he is like the internet, because the internet says they know what the drive phase is and they don't either.
So. Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, and I didn't. I'm trying to think when I'm watching the 4 hurdles, and Metivier wins the 4 hurdles, and he says he was running through the 6 with his woes. And I'm just like,
that was the one. That was the one.
I was like, what?
Because he's Canadian.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Easily his best.
It was.
I mean, it was
easily.
It was unbelievable. The timing, the way he said it, and it was like it rolled off his tongue like it was part of the whole deal. And I'm just going, wow, okay, this is different. This is different because, and someone mentioned, I think someone mentioned it on Twitter, that he's like the Stuart Scott. He's making these references, because Stuart Scott came to every show locked and loaded and ready to just throw that out there at you, and created his own persona. I mean, obviously, RG3, is well accomplished. He's always been well spoken, and we've seen him before. But to see him in this medium, I want to see more of it. I definitely want to see more of it. I think track and field needs it, and I think that we are a bit guilty of having the same voices in the same competitions and hearing the same terminology. And it's like you get kind of bogged down because, you know, track and field is actually exciting. It's actually, there's things that you can bring to the table, you know, that you can rope in people that otherwise wouldn't, you know, watch it. And I love it. It's a breath of fresh air, and I hope we see him at more track and field competitions.
So here's my comment.
We got a guy with 1 million followers telling everybody to watch the track meet.
Absolutely.
So okay, I agree.
I'm sorry, Chu. I didn't mean to step.
Oh yeah, Chu, go ahead.
That's okay. Well, what I was going to say is to piggyback off of the governor's statement just now. As track and field fans, and you saw it on Twitter, you see it on Twitter after a big meet or even an international meet at that. We need new voices. It's dry. They're blah, 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 blah. We throw in a new voice and everybody is making it a contrary statement to it.
Mm-hmm.
We can't win.
Because they don't know what they want.
Because, well, it's not that they don't, I don't feel like it's not that they don't know what they want, but what they want is their voice, is their articulation, is their thing. And it's, then go be a commentator and stop being a coach.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad you said that, you know, Chu, because, you know, the number of armchair coaches out there.
Oh yeah.
You know, everybody's got an opinion. Someone else, I read, somebody sent me a quote that somebody said, well, Florida would run really fast if they put Joseph on the 4x4. Did you watch the Texas relay?
Because I was there.
Exactly, you were there. Like Joseph once, not like, you know, you see how hard Joe laughed when John Anderson said that to him?
Yeah.
You know, like come on, stop, let people do their jobs, enjoy what's going on. Like,
yep.
Was Robert Griffin III perfect? By no means.
No.
But he added a different flavor. He added a different voice. He added a different, you know, just the whole thing was just listening to him talk.
Yeah.
You know, it was something different. It was something new and fresh. And I thought it was good.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I want to get into some of this because I largely agree with the overall, I don't know, feeling of what we're saying here. I thought he was good. As I understand it, he hadn't called a track and field competition before. He has a really good voice for that job. Mm-hmm. And because RG3 does have, you know, a former connection to the sport, he ran in high school, he was pretty damn good. He ran in college for a hot second, he was good, right? You can tell he has passion about the sport.
Yep.
And his passion comes through in his commentating, all of which, as an audience, I appreciate. What I don't appreciate is where, and it's not just him, but he's the new one, right? Where, like Lucia said, when you get into areas that you clearly don't understand, and you are doing a segment where you are educating our audience about the sport and what you're saying is wrong, I cringe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't enjoy that part. Don't educate people on what you don't know. The other thing, and this is just, someone here will tell me I'm overblowing this. The color commentating is cool. A lot of it felt like he was the jester. And I don't want the only black dude on the broadcast to be the jester. It just, some of it was really cringy. And you could tell it was stuff that he had preempted himself to say. Like, for example, and Sir Lucius was out there winning the national championship, so he probably didn't hear this live. What in the fambule? That's catchy. I actually like it.
Love it.
Don't say it 4 times in 2 minutes because now you're forcing us to try to be funny and it's not funny.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Gelling like a felon about the Texas women's 4x1. I don't like the 4 black girls being called felons on TV. I don't like that. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
Right? So and again, Matthew Bowling as Eminem, stop it. One of the worst things I've ever heard.
That one you just can't do. You just can't do it.
No, you can't.
For so many angles, you can't and should not do that.
No.
You know what I mean? But if I'm gonna take subtle shots at RG3, I'm gonna take a big one at Dwight Stone because I'm tired of this BS. Look, bro, listen. Dwight Stones has been doing this way too long, and he's been doing this act for so long that you can see the crap coming. I don't want, literally every single time Dwight Stone spoke, he is shitting on the weather in Oregon. The word rain came out his mouth like 25 times. Like, bro, we get it. There's rain, maybe.
Right.
Shut the hell up. The performances are still dope. But he doesn't say a word about the rain when the women's high jump is going on because, you know, that's his thing. He just wants to be uppity and positive about that. And RG3 and Dwight Stones have no right. Someone should mute the microphone. Joseph Fahnbulleh wins the 100 meters. He is the champion, NCAA champion. And RG3 says, and I quote, I want to make sure I get it right because I definitely wrote down, coaches, come on, just help him have a better start and he will be a dominant force.
Yep.
Dominant force of what? Last I looked, the boy spent the whole meet dominating. So I don't know, like, is this a narrative that you guys are going through in pre-production? Because I know some people that do this for a living and I know how pre-production goes. Like, RG3 was doing a really good job when he was just being RG3 and being exciting and being passionate and talking. And every now and then he slid his rehearsed one-liners in there and it was funny. A lot of it was forced and it felt like a trying too hard comedian show. I ain't like that part. But the Dwight Stones, man, bro, you like, it's got to stop. The disrespect has got to stop. I mean, seriously, I just, and I have to say this because it was really irritating to me when I came home and watched it on the women's finals day. They were trying, as they should, to tell the story of the national championship race between Florida and Texas. I get that that's part of the broadcast. One of the things that blew up on Twitter was during the 400-meter hurdles, because of the narrative of the team championship, the 400 hurdle coverage was all about Anna Hall. And they loosely ignored Britton Wilson. Mm-hmm. My problem with that is Britton Wilson was by far the overwhelming favorite. And it didn't appear, if you're listening to the broadcast, that RG3 knew that. Because he was talking about Anna Hall like she was somehow upset in the 400 hurdles by Britton Wilson, which is dumb. The problem with that whole setup is this. They didn't mention the multis at all until after the 400 hurdles. So no one understood why it was so impressive that Anna Hall was even out there getting second because y'all are telling the story backwards.
Yeah. So
to me, if we're going to continue to make this better, and RG3 was a positive improvement to the broadcast team, he just was. We need to be better planning this, and the gesturing don't need to be that deep. But overall, I thought he did a really good job. And yes, it was a net positive, and Lamar's absolutely right. He's got a bunch of followers. Somebody with 1 million followers telling his audience to watch the meet. Nothing but good and positive for us. And yes, it was obviously engaging.
Well, quite literally, if they were to watch our preview, they would know what's going to happen. They would have all the stories about what's going to happen in the meet, right?
Yeah.
Just watch the show.
See, they don't pay attention.
Watch the show.
Okay, I'll give you an example. Texas relays. I text Dwight Stones the order of my 4x1. And then he watches the race and says, oh, that wasn't Joe Farmer. That was Anthony Brody on the end of it. He has the names on his phone. Don't pay attention. Shut up.
Oh, gosh.
I can't make that up.
Jeez. All right, last honorable mention before we move away from the meet. Congratulations, kudos, hands out to those who were inducted into the new athlete NCAA Hall of Fame. Am I giving it the right letters? That was a celebration that took place Monday before the competition started. Good stuff. I mean, it's going to take them a while to catch up, but that's okay too because they started.
Can I add a sidebar to that? Okay. I like the idea, but can we do it at the convention?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that's what conventions are for. I mean, I'm not taking my team to a 3-hour function 2 days, 48 hours before. It's not happening. No.
I'll be honest, we didn't go.
No, neither did we. So.
No, yeah, at the convention, much better idea. Do that
exactly. Yeah.
So, but good on them for thinking about it, starting the process, and
yeah,
one day you'll catch up.
Great idea. One day we'll catch up, but not the NCAA championship.
No. Moving away from the meet, but still related to Bowerman picks.
This is the hardest question of the night, by the way.
Right. Well, and let's say this, and this is why, like, I understand the word, why it's a hard question. It is, it isn't, and there's going to be a tradition that's broken, very like broken glass shattered, if the true pick, if we can call it that.
No. You give us yours first. Don't do that, because that's going to be an argument right here.
But I mean,
3 men, 3 women.
Oh, I thought I was just picking the one.
Oh,
no.
The dais. You're picking.
While y'all are thinking about that, I just did some quick math. We really need to never let Chew do tabulations ever again. I actually scored 24 points on the women's side, not even 21. And my total is actually 42 points.
Sir, the recount will be taking place next week. Just give us your Bowerman.
There is no recount.
Give us your Bowerman dais.
I'm Defiance, okay? Defiance is a recount.
Give us your Bowerman dais, sir.
Jeez.
So
yeah,
you
go
serious? Like this dude sat here and recalculated that this whole time?
Absolutely.
That's very petty of you, sir. Give us your Bowerman.
Be honest with you. I didn't give you the bonus picks. I didn't give you the bonus points because I actually picked 100% of the bonus picks right.
Sir Lucius, if you've ever stood in line with Lamar waiting on anything, you will understand. Okay? It's always below the surface. Okay? It's always below the surface.
Always below the surface.
Yes.
Yep, I got it.
Like he just like on Kings of Comedy, he wishes. We wish, right? That is Lamar.
We wish a mother would, right?
Yep. That's the fact.
We will get those scores out, but we really need your Bowerman dais, sir.
Okay, I have my 3 women. Wait, hold on.
He's smiling. But
we're going women first. Is that it? We're going women first.
You go first.
Yes.
Okay, women first.
We go first.
In no particular order. Julian Alfred.
You have to participate.
Anna Hall. Jasmine Moore.
I missed the first one.
Julian
Alfred.
Alfred.
Wow.
Anna Hall.
Mm-hmm. Jasmine.
Okay. And Jasmine. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, no, not Julian Alfred.
You get
Nope.
Ain't no way.
Not Julian Alfred. Cam. I don't know why I didn't say her. That was bad.
Nope.
That was bad. It is. That's my asterisk.
Ain't no asterisk.
It's recorded.
Lamar, go ahead. Now, Chew, who's supposed to win it?
Oh, I didn't get there. See, I reordered the mind. I don't know.
Lord.
Clyde, why are you blowing her mind?
I'm just trying to get this organized.
There's no organization.
Why do I have to go second? I'll go
All
second.
right, Governor,
You know
go
ahead.
Okay. Go ahead, Governor.
I'll go second. We're good. I'll just say this. I'm very, very, if I can only pick 3, I'm very staunch on my 3, but it's going to be it's so hard for me to not say Abby Steiner's name, but I'm not going to. Cam, Jasmine, Anna Hall.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Jasmine. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with Jasmine Moore, Abby Steiner, and Anna Hall.
Lucius, should I go or would you like to go?
Are you serious right now?
I can go. I mean, guys, I'm going to be shocking picks here. Anna Hall, Jasmine Moore, Abby Steiner, and even though I don't agree with this, but Abby's going to win it.
Yes.
Because they're gonna do what they did with Shakira.
Yeah.
They're gonna lean on the performance, not the body of work.
Yes.
If you're gonna lean on the body, if you're gonna lean on the body of work, there's no way Jasmine Moore loses.
Right.
In my opinion.
So I'm gonna ask a silly question. If they're gonna go based on performance, then this is a done deal. Cam Rogers has the most impressive performance of anyone in the meet. She's the number 9 hammer throw all time.
Hold a second. Why are you yelling at me?
But this is the conversation though. This is
but he's yelling. I'm not yelling at you.
I'm not yelling at you. I'm fired up.
I'm just giving you a hard time. So it's the committee, and like everybody out there knows they're not going to give the thrower.
Yes.
The proper. I mean, if it's based on what's the performance? Let's do that. What's the performance of the year?
Cam
Is
Rogers.
it the 2180 or is it Cam Rogers?
It's Cam Rogers.
It's Cam Rogers.
Cam Rogers.
Okay.
And it's honestly, it's not really close.
It's not really that close.
Okay.
So it's the number 21 200 of all time, and it's the number 9 hammer throw of all time.
Right. So the other problem you have is now Abby's 22-0 indoors is the number 1 all time.
Yes.
That's because Cam doesn't have the indoor that Abby has.
Right. Okay, so wait.
I mean,
before we get
into fair, she doesn't have the indoor, but she broke the outdoor collegiate record 5 times.
Okay, dude, I am not arguing with you.
I didn't give mine.
I'm sorry, Clyde.
No, because I'm here for the debate, and this is
all right.
This year, listen. This year,
I think she did just take 4.
So, right.
That's what I think. What I think.
I don't know the rules, but if there was ever a year where you must demand that there are 4 chairs on the stage, it is this year. Yes. And obviously the 4 chairs must be Abby, Anna, Jasmine, and Cam Rogers. Now, if the rules don't allow for 4 chairs on the stage, break them and put a 4th chair on the stage. Mm-hmm. Because any one of those ladies that doesn't have a chair on the stage is being disrespected at a level that I can't even contemplate. But I'll play the game. If it has to be 3 chairs, unfortunately for me, I think you got to leave Anna off the stage. And for the reasons that we were just starting to get into, it depends on how you want to evaluate. Jasmine Moore is undefeated and went 4 for 4 and broke national records. Mm-hmm. So her season, collegiate season, cannot be said to be worse than Cam Rogers, even though Cam Rogers dominated in a much better way and had a much better overall performance at the end. But Abby has indoor. Mm-hmm. So if Abby wins, I'm not upset. If Jasmine wins, I'm not upset. If Cam wins, I'm not upset. The reason I would say I'd have to leave Anna out is because the rules dictate that there has to be 3. But you can make the case and give the award to Anna. So I don't care how you do it. You put 4 chairs on the stage. But for me, and this is my home run, if Cam Rogers isn't on the stage, I'm protesting.
Okay.
I'm standing right there next to you.
So the award is supposed to be it's basically like the Heisman, right? So the Heisman is the best. Yes. So it's the best overall player, right?
College,
right?
Yes.
Okay. 13-15, 23-1, 22 feet, 6 feet, 203, 54-4. I can do this shit all day.
I understand.
Right? Okay. Right. So if we're talking about the best overall athlete in the sport, it's Anna Hall.
Yes.
Right? She leads off the 4x1 and 51. You put her a run and start, she splits 50. Right? Yes. 4x4, yeah. Although, by the way, she anchored the 4x1 and ran 40%, because I forgot about that part. Right? If we're talking about the best overall athlete in the sport, it's Anna by far. If you're going by the rules of their game. Right?
Yes.
But they're not going to play by the rules of their game. They usually play by the best performance. Okay? So let's call it what it is. You look at the performances, Cam has the best overall performance by far, but she's in the throws, and it's not glamorous enough.
No indoor for her.
Exactly.
This The reason I'm so fired up is like, I'm just going to be honest. This picks a scab from earlier in the summer when Ryan Krauser doesn't win the World Athletics.
Yes.
Right. Like literally that's what it is for me. Right. This picks the same scab because at the end of the day, like this is ridiculous. It's like it's really hard, but it's not that hard.
It's not that hard to put 4 women on the stage. And give them their just due.
We don't all agree on very many things. The fact that there should be 4 chairs on the women's side is a no-brainer.
I think it's fantastic. I think it speaks to, I mean, it's a testament. There were 3, correct me if I'm wrong, 3 NCAA records broken, right? Waymont, Rogers, and Steiner.
Mm-hmm.
In the entire meet. Those are the 3 records that were broken.
Right.
So it's, and then I mean, I don't know what records were broken during the regular season, but to do it at the national meet, I mean, that's
I mean, Cam broke a record every time she threw.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so wait, no, in all seriousness, I think we will differ on this. So who, Governor, and moving on, who is your women's Bowerman trophy holder? You got to pick one.
Jasmine Moore for me.
So you want my answer now? I mean, look, I'm a pragmatic. I'm a pragmatic. Well, I just didn't know whether you wanted me to go or you wanted Big League.
No. I'm just saying. Just
like I'm a very pragmatic individual, and I can separate emotions and all those things. Cam Rogers, I think, is just absolutely amazing, and she went to my alma mater. Anna Hall, I think, is the best athlete to be in a college uniform since Jackie. But Jasmine Moore, listen, I put a premium on winning because I think people underestimate how hard it is to win. Jasmine Moore did not lose to anyone at the national meet.
Nope.
Indoors or out.
Nope.
No, I'm not sure she lost ever during the season, did she?
Not in the triple jump she did.
And not in the triple jump. She lost in the long jump once, I think. But at the end of the day, it's like at the national meet, indoors and out, Jasmine Moore won multiple events, dominated the field. And for me, she gets my vote because she's got more titles than the rest of them. And her performances are on par with the rest of them. And yeah, it's a really tough choice, but it's just not that tough. Because if you just set the rules, right? Whatever rules you set up as to how you win, you can come up with a winner because they all separate themselves, right? For me, my answer, and I love the other 2, but my answer is Jasmine Moore because basically she won the most.
Yes.
She's the first female to ever win all 4 conference meets. I mean, to go 8 for 8. Indoor and outdoor conference and nationals. First one in both jumps. Never been done before.
Wow.
And on the runway in Birmingham, which none of us thinks is very good, she broke the collegiate record.
Right.
Right.
I mean,
so,
right.
So big league.
And so it's like 8. We're calling her 8 for 8. I'm calling her 10 for 10 because she led her team to 2 national titles.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What did you say, Clyde? Sorry, I heard my name.
Do you concur? Are you giving the trophy to Jasmine Moore?
Yes.
Okay.
Now that's wild. I didn't think that we would all agree on that. For me, it's about, at the end of the day, if we're splitting hairs, and we are, it's about production.
Yeah.
Jasmine Moore produced the most.
Absolutely.
So to me, it's Jasmine Moore.
Like
Jasmine Moore scored 40 points at the national meet this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where it gets lost is like in Lamar, we've had this conversation before, is unfortunately you, Anna, do 7 or 10 events that count as one. And you just lose that, unfortunately. Now, to us as people, we don't lose that. But that doesn't get lost on us. But for points, you only get the 10. You don't get 70 or 100.
Right.
So, anyways, moving on.
And in order to appreciate Anna, you have to delve into all the individual stuff that she's done.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So to the men.
Yes. I've got Big Joe, Aiden Owens, and I know he's hyphenated his name at this point. Delorme.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
And then I know, and Trey.
Was that 4 names? I feel like she said 4 names.
That was 4
No,
names.
she was still with 3.
Aiden has 2 names.
Yeah,
he's hyphenated. Yeah.
Yeah. So Aiden, Big Joe, and Trey Cunningham.
Okay. Good list.
That's my list as well.
Interesting.
That is my list as well.
I think Trey and Big Joe for sure, and I'm leaning towards Aiden because he won indoors and outdoors, right? And he did hold the collegiate record for about 3 minutes. But the thrower at Cal, man, the discus guy, right?
Yeah,
Alexis.
Yeah.
But he lost at national.
But he lost the national
that's
by
right.
2 centimeters.
Yeah. So
Kid from Virginia.
Aiden Owens it is. Aiden Owens it is.
I actually had the same 3, shockingly enough.
You guys better pick your choices differently.
Governor, do you have a difference in the 3?
So the difference I have is that my third person won indoor and outdoor. Won the 400 indoor and outdoor.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, see, no one said Randolph Ross.
I've got Ross, Cunningham, and Owens.
So I thought of that too.
Ross, Cunningham, and Owens, you left Big Joe out.
Yes.
Okay.
And then actually, you can make an argument for that. I get that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I tried that.
Joe didn't have an indoor season. Yep.
Talking about the combined season, indoor and out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If that's what the criteria is, then
that's what the criteria is supposed to be. And based on that criteria, you've got the best 3.
So, okay. So then we'll go backwards then. Governor, who gets the trophy?
I think it's between Cunningham and Owens. And I think Cunningham's going to get it.
Does he get your trophy?
I mean, what Owens did is unreal. Like that's that's crazy. But Trey Cunningham. So yeah, that's tough. That's a tough one.
Yeah, that is a tough one.
I think Owens deserves it. I think Cunningham will get it.
Fair enough.
I think Owens might get it.
Okay.
Because remember, Owens won indoors in dramatic fashion.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
He sets a collegiate record that was eventually broken.
Yep.
But then he ties the meet record of Ashton Eaton. Right?
Yeah.
There's that wow to it, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Trey, he's just number 2 all time.
the worst possible place.
Yeah. Exactly. He's just number 2, right?
He's just
now
number
if Trey had broke either one of those records, just give him the trophy, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that he didn't break the records, the fact that Aiden did, that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah,
you literally took my take. That is exactly my take. I don't think it's petty. It's just hilariously ironic, right? Because Trey's nemesis at the NCAA forever was Grant Holloway.
Mm-hmm.
And because he could not break Grant Holloway's records indoor or out, I think you have to give the trophy to Aiden Owens because he tied Ashton Eaton.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, even if Trey would have tied Grant, I'd be like, give it to Trey. So at the end of the day, Grant Holloway wins.
Right. And see, and trust me, there's going to be some faction of this committee that says, well, Aiden's record got broken, but it was broken a guy competing against professionals, right? Mm-hmm. And see, and so I want to go on record that I'm going to get at my little brother here, because a year ago you couldn't stop talking about A&T's 4x4. You give my 4x4 no credit at all.
Hey, actually, that's awesome. And last I checked, A&T didn't break any records.
I'm done. See, I thought you was my guy. You
know. Hey, I'm here for that.
So Lucius with
so
the
here's what I'm
got the receipts, boy.
They ran 258 twice.
Here's
two fastest times in collegiate history.
Here is what I'm going to say. I will admit to complacency about greatness. I am remiss for not openly riding for the Gators 4x4 the way I did the A&T 4x4, because unfortunately I am your little brother, so I expected it. So therefore, when it happened, I didn't jump up and down like I should have. So you are right for calling me out for that, because the way I rode for A&T last year, I definitely should have rode for the Gators this year. That is fair. Secondly, I will say this. A&T was Randolph Ross and the Pips. No diss to the other three.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, here's what I'm going to tell you this.
Hold on a second. They got a guy on there that ran 44.4.
Yeah.
I absolutely know who those guys are.
Now, if you want to say
what I'm
Randolph
saying
and Trevor and the Pips, we're not going to say Randolph and the Pips.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough. But
hold on a second.
This year's Gator squad was the Avengers United.
I'm gonna go Claire Huxtable on you right here.
Oh my God.
Let the record show. I don't care who was on the team. We ran 258 and they didn't. We couldn't even get out on Mitchell.
I already said that I should have ridden harder.
Clyde and I will
for my Gator
ridicule. We will ridicule you privately when you're not around. So don't worry.
It's okay. Y'all can ridicule me publicly.
While we're on this point, I'm sorry I missed one of my notes in reference to the Gators 4x4 in reference to Mr. Dwight Stones. In the middle of the race, Dwight Stones had the nerve to say that Jacob Miley threw away the collegiate record. How the hell you throw away a collegiate record that you already
Yes, he did.
And for the record out there, everybody, he split faster at the NCAA championships than he did when we broke the collegiate record.
And I know that, and he knows that, because, we pay attention, but the dude in the booth telling America that don't know that, and that's a problem.
Right. And he also doesn't understand that if there was a magical Stevie Gardner running out in front of Champ this time, they might have run 257.
Okay,
but they were winning.
For the record, so everybody understands, Jacob Miley got so sick at the East Prelim meet that we had to fly him back separately from the team. He lost 13 pounds, folks.
Oh. And
he couldn't train until the Saturday before we left to go to nationals. So he had one training day, lost 13 pounds, and split 45.8. That's my guy.
And not just that. In what world is 45.8 throwing away anything?
What are we talking about? The old dude in the booth said it.
Right, and the other thing is, this is who told him we were trying to break the collegiate record? He just decided that Florida, they're not trying to win. They don't have to run to win the meet, so maybe they're trying to break the collegiate record. Maybe we're just trying to win the race, Dwight.
So I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna move on. Hey, Dwight, how many teams have run under 259 even once? Oh, okay. So if the same group of four guys runs under 259 twice, why are you talking? That's like saying just because they didn't break the world record every time, they're not good. What are we talking about? Ranked 258.
At the champion.
I mean, look, that meet record's not going down anytime soon unless they do it again with their group.
And And for the record, they're all 4 back next year.
I mean,
That's awesome.
facts.
That's awesome.
Big league.
And the meets in Austin, Texas. So yeah, boy.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah. Ooh, he is right, because ooh.
Man. All right. So we just did the Bowerman. I was like, where are we? I got lost.
We didn't get your Bowerman winner.
Oh, I thought I said it.
You didn't get mine either.
Oh,
right.
See, I'm lost. I've just been listening. I've been a spectator.
We know yours is a Gator 4x4, so we're good.
Good call, Chief.
That was funny. That was funny.
That was funny.
I wish that could be a thing. I'm going to say that out loud. Gator 4x4.
Thank you, Big League.
I'm being serious though. Like there's been a season of it, right? And it's been good a season. So,
I mean, just rewind what I said last year about A&T and just say it again about Ford. Since I didn't pick them to be on the dais, I can't pick them. So I'm going to pick Aiden.
Yeah.
But you're allowed because Sir Lucius said you could. But I'm going to pick Aiden. I'm going to pick Aiden because here's the thing, folks. Like we all saw the heroic ridiculousness he did indoors, but outdoors, he scores 85, then watches the collegiate record get broken on his home track, and then goes out and beats the collegiate record holder and ties the world record holder, former world record holder. Right? Like we're done. Like that's kind of it.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something I forgot. Sorry. Moving on? Question mark.
Yes.
Got it. Last but not least, 'tis the season, y'all. 'Tis the season. The coaching carousel.
Oh God.
Cue the music. I mean,
and I'll say this. Okay, so can I want to say something. Let's get rid of this narrative of I didn't see that coming. Why is this person leaving when they've got something so great? Or why would they go there because it's just that, or it's horrible? Stop saying all that. Because if you're getting more money, different opportunities, this, that, and the third, whatever they're upgrading to, whatever it means for them, let it be. You don't know what's going on in these people's lives. Maybe they just need a change. Maybe they're ready for different, so that looks good to them, right? Instead of ridiculing or like the shock eyes, we all know what that is, right? Let the narrative play out. Who knows? Like I think I came to those thoughts with the mumblings, all the mumblings that happened this weekend at the meet, and I think we pay special attention to that now because of the story of Lonnie Green. I did anyways.
Well, so I want to talk about the Tennessee piece of the carousel because I think it's the most intriguing. Make no mistake about it. The University of Tennessee, Danny White, the new AD, has literally invented a new model in our sport. Hires Dwayne Ross to be the director of track and field, and everybody thought that was the end of it, and then turns around and hires a second director of cross country / distance. And it seemed to confuse a lot of people, but make no mistake about it, he did that, people, because of the looming impending changes that are coming with, NCAA in general. And it's a new model. We haven't seen it. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's interesting.
Can I call timeout?
Sure.
We've seen it.
We've seen it. In this example, the way it's structured?
I lived it.
Okay, how did you live it? Because I've never seen that. The way it was announced, the way it was rolled out, I've never seen that.
When I first became the head coach of Florida for the men, I was the men's head coach. Tom Jones was the women's head coach. Jeff Pig was the head coach for cross country for men and women.
Yes, sir. But you guys all had to share the same money, right?
No, we did not.
No?
He had look. He had his own budget. He had his own scholarships. Everything. It's totally separate.
Oh,
well, and when Jerry Clayton took the job at the University of Michigan, the exact same thing happened.
Okay, so then y'all gonna have to educate me, because when did cross country get their own scholarship pool?
No.
No.
Because Jeremy said they get this many scholarships.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. The model that Tennessee has rolled out, if you read the press release and watch the interviews, it's separate.
So was this. So was this.
So those scholarships didn't come out of your 18 and your 12.6?
Yeah, they did.
Yes.
They're not now.
They are. They have to be.
No, what
they're not.
What
I'm telling you, they're not.
What he's saying is this: they plan on funding cross country with NIL money.
Yes.
Well, that's a different discussion.
That's the discussion I'm trying to have. That's what I'm saying. They have invented a new model.
But okay, first of all, good luck with that.
Well, sir, that's what I'm trying to discuss here.
Okay. Say, look, that's a whole different discussion. But the model itself isn't new.
But it is.
The NIL part of it's new, but the model itself isn't.
Yeah, okay, like the funding structure is different. If they
it's totally different.
But the model itself and the framework.
Good luck being good in cross country, funding it with NIL money. Yeah.
Good NIL/Alston money is what they announced. They're saying that the track and field side is going to do these scholarships, and cross country is going to be funded a different way. So there is isolation. It's two bosses that have nothing to do with each other.
And that was the same thing on our campus. They had nothing to do.
Y'all were sharing the same scholarship pool, and now they're not. That's the
It'll be interesting to see.
Exactly. Yeah, because we were sharing the same scholarship pool, but we were of my 12.6, he got 3. Mm-hmm. And it was his, do whatever you want to do with it.
No. We all understand that. We've seen that over and over a whole bunch of places. What they're saying now is you get your 12.6, he don't get none of your 3, none of that. And I think it's interesting.
It is interesting.
I mean, if they pull it off, it is definitely interesting. But we shall see.
I mean, I think, without trying to be disrespectful, that's cute. But this is the SEC, and cute don't win in this league.
Okay, I'm here for it,
and so am I.
So look, here's what I find most interesting about this year's version of the coaching carousel, right? Because let's be honest, I don't know this to be exactly factual, but probably a very similar number of jobs come open in total every year. It's very similar,
sure,
right, from year to year. But the reason this year's carousel is most interesting to me is because we are on the precipice of completely uncharted waters, right? Like there's a gigantic boogeyman around the corner, and we all know that it's real. It's not nobody made it up, because the NCAA actually fired a warning shot. Like, look, we have assembled a committee that is going to completely revamp the way we do business. A couple of things that we're thinking of doing are eliminating equivalency sports, the limits on equivalency sports, eliminating the number of staff members in equivalency sports, right? And so you don't know who is truly in the know or what they may actually know. So all of these jobs that are now open and will open as these things happen, they could very well be very, very different jobs. Also, the other part to the impending boogeyman that's coming is conference restructuring, right? If you take a job at Houston, UCF, I know none of these jobs are open right now, but well, one is, but Houston, UCF, Cincinnati, and BYU, right? If you take one of those jobs, you're taking over a program that wasn't a Power Five, and you're escorting them into a Power Five era, right? So you're literally doing a job that hasn't never been done on the campus. Not to mention the impending Power Five-edness when Oklahoma and Texas leave, of probably, this is my prognostication, Memphis and USF to fill that league up to 16. But the point is, there's a bunch of question marks out there that are attached to jobs that people are gonna be open. And it's very, very, very interesting.
And have we seen this many truly big jobs opening? I mean,
Yeah,
that's
happened
right
before.
now. Ohio, all at the same time? Auburn, Ohio State, Michigan. Okay. It feels like it's more than normal.
Ohio State's not open anymore.
Well, but it was. It was open for 2 seconds, but it was open. Props to Roz.
See, it's about 10 and a half.
It was just as long as to type her name. She's got a longer name. So
congratulations to Roz for taking over for the legend that is Ms. Dennis at Ohio State. And like you just see, so that means that Southern Illinois is now open or whatever. Yeah. Like it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, whole staff.
Well, so that's what I was going to say is whether it's the big jobs that are open, it's the ripples that have already been created because the heads are leaving. Mm-hmm. So then staffs are getting vacated, call it whatever, and whoever sticks together and who doesn't stick together, and then who doesn't come back to coaching because now it's like the door's open. Do I just leave all the way? Those are the conversations that are happening because people are actually exhausted because we had COVID off and now they know what like free time was.
I mean,
retirement.
You look at this list. I mean, I would say like it's one thing for assistant positions, but okay, so where they're going: Auburn, UConn, Notre Dame, Southern Illinois, Drake, Stephen F. Austin, North Carolina A&T, North Texas, Kent State, Georgia Southern, Boston College, Holy Cross, Montana, Utah, Central Arkansas, Townsend State, Middle Tennessee, JMU is Cross, Cincinnati Cross.
Is it University of San Diego? It's USD.
Really?
That job's
UCSD.
Really?
UCSD.
UCSD.
They retired.
I mean, that is a lot of open head jobs, right?
Cal Poly.
And Poly too?
Cal Poly.
Cal Poly? Wow.
Cal Poly slow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's be clear for the audience. There's like 6 or 7 others that we are aware of that we can't say out of respect for the situations.
Right.
Like
right.
Because of other movements, because of the initial movement.
Right. It's wild.
And this is the part that people always forget, right? So we just named that list, right? There's still like that list is going to truncate to 80% because those people are all going to hire people.
Yes.
Right. So then there's like the big list is going to have another really big list. That gets to cut to another really big list.
Yes.
Because inevitably, most of the people who are going to get hired for these jobs currently have jobs.
Yep.
So openings get created. So we joked last year about like, somebody kept putting a quarter in because I think the last person hired was like in February. I see the carousel spinning the same way this year.
Yeah.
Right. Like here we are in June and they will still be listen, there will be a track coach hired after January 1st.
We are just used to it now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, and again, not to neglect the other levels of jobs that are already open or have been open. And will maybe remain open because everyone's taking their shots at these quote unquote branded jobs.
Good point.
The one part about this that really makes all of this even more intriguing is that almost all of these people coach people that are national level, and the portal, you got to be in the portal by July 1st.
Yeah.
Right. So like
rule?
That is a confirmed rule.
Yeah, it's confirmed.
Okay.
14 days.
Right. You have to be in the portal by July 1st, right? So like look, let's say you love your coach and your school, right? Your coach is applying for jobs. Like, you're almost forced to get in the portal. Right? Like, you're almost forced to get in the portal. And it's like,
so chess move, because remember the conversation that took place, remembering the conversation took place today. There are people in the portal who their contacts are locked. So are they in there just in case, or are they in there with destinations? That's my question.
Probably both. Probably
most of them have destinations already.
Yeah.
Right. Because listen, the shenanigans are still the shenanigans.
Yeah.
But if you don't mind, Chu and EP, I would like to take a moment in our coaching carousel discussion to put something to bed. I keep getting emails about us having a job open. People, there are no jobs open at San Jose State University. There are no jobs open. Stop sending me emails.
That is not a stop. That is not a stop on the carousel.
I don't know where this is coming from. There are no jobs open. There are damn sure no distance jobs open. She's doing an excellent job. She ain't going nowhere. There are no jobs open. Stop saying that.
Or someone needs to tell Clyde immediately.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. See, everyone thought this segment was going to be about all the jobs that are open, and it wasn't. Listen, we're educating y'all. We're educating you. Remember that the start of this was just to speak openly about experiences and the hows and the whats and the whatnots. This is still it. Like, if you all want to know about the job listings, NCAA Marketplace, the more informal of Let's Run, Twitter, the amongst the groups, or get in a circle. We will discuss the job openings and the juiciness of them at time to time, but it's things to reflect on, right?
Don't do the Let's Run. It's wrong.
No, let's not. But I mean, depending on who you are, that's a credible source. So,
no.
Anyhow, in sakes of the time, I'm going to forego Would You Rather again, and I'm going to make a call and give a blanket heartbeat props. With the roller coaster that we just called the NCAA Outdoor Meet, I'd like to give heartbeat props to the quote unquote, and I'm not calling them, I'm giving them the name that everybody else is giving them, smaller programs who scored actual points, chunks of points, where they were the equivalent to a bigger school. Okay, so I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to go through it, but you know who you are.
Well, I'll name names. Montana State scored the exact same amount of points as University of Oregon.
So
I'll give names.
Shout out to Jay Turner. Got to see him all weekend because they did things, and that's a mini shout out. That's heartbeat props go to all of those programs, because again, everyone took the time to get better over the pandemic. Everybody took time to make themselves better, athlete and coach alike. Everybody toed up to the line, like you like to say, Clyde, and competed when they needed to compete the most. So kudos to everyone, but specifically the quote unquote smaller programs who did work.
Sorry, I love you, Chu, but
no, I know. I was trying to be...
I get it, but the universal heartbeat props for the show have to go to the sweep and surge.
I mean, but we kudoed that in the beginning.
No, but listen, you're the man, sir. You're the man.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man.
Again, and this was said 1,000 times over on the internet. Anybody who argues that.
Lamar has just been sitting there, just like, through that screen and just.
No. Listen, you guys know me. I don't share this kind of stuff very often, but I have a legitimate heartbeat props this week.
Okay, my bad.
No, and that's not, look, normally I would just roll with it, but listen, tomorrow's my oldest son's birthday. And I'm going to roll over and show my underbelly. And I'm just going to say this, my heartbeat props go out to that young man, because in the last 7 days, he has been cut, released. So he was released, reacquired, reassigned, and promoted.
Yeah.
And I just don't think people understand how hard a thing that is. You know, I said to my son, I understand, right? I understand how you feel. And he said to me, do you? And I said, yeah, I have for sure been where you are and felt what you felt. And he said to me, what have you ever been cut from? And I said, being fired, I guess, isn't the same as being cut. So I stand corrected. That young man's resilience is, I draw energy from it. I really do, because it is a very difficult thing to try to chase your life dream and not have full control over whether you get to chase it or not. And so I am extremely proud of him. And you keep hitting balls and catching balls, young man. And happy birthday to one Mr. Zachary Christopher Huffins.
Wow, why'd you have to put him out there like it's a middle name? That's messed up.
Hey, it's okay.
All right.
I'm good. Well, unless the man got something, I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Got it. Well, thank you all. It's been fun. We thank you to those who are commenting. We will get to your questions. We just had that big meet to recap. So we'll resume our normal programming after this week. So have fun. Have a great week. Hope you're catching up on rest. And we'll see you again soon. Bye, everyone.
Later.
When the lights come on, the road just get to running. When the lights come on, opponents smash the plumbing. Heard you like it warm, hot, knife the butter. Truth pin them hard, knock them off that rebuttal. Tsunami, tidal wave to your puddle. Tough love, punch you in the arms, little brothers. Athletics LLC, there's no others. Track and field's place and appeal to go further. Hey, Wile E. Coyote, it's road runners. Feels like you know us, you've been with us the whole summer. If not for this quarantine, these four corners wouldn't be here, but we here, so start learning. You gotta earn your stripes, gotta get your scars. Show you how to fight, but show us who you are. You lack experience, but still you wanna talk. And who is actually talking to you? Circle's kinda small. Heads prevail when the backbone's strong. Gotta keep it coming, no, it won't last long. Pass and fail, then sell the sad song. And if you don't check yourself, then that's wrong. Just trying to give you the real that you asked for. So why you keep cutting us off to ask more? We put it in slow-mo, but you fast forward. Athletics LLC, the task force.